And KVGC News Time, now 7 minutes after the hour. Time for a look at the news. It's a Thursday, the 5th day of September for 2019. Well, the Amador Water Agency Board of Directors approved the agency's detailed response to the 2018-19 Amador County Civil Grand Jury report during a special board meeting this week. The almost 50-page response addresses in detail the findings and recommendations made by the grand jury. While AWA directors and agency staff disagree with many of the grand jury findings, the agency has, quote, taken steps to amplify transparency and accessibility of complex information. And that was one of the recommendations of the grand jury. According to AWA Board President Paul Molinelli, Jr., recent extensive work has gone into reorganizing the agency's budget reports and creating a user-friendly budget in brief brochure that will be mailed to all AWA customers. Now, the agency has improved the format of its website with the assistance of a consultant to enhance its use by the public, and Board of Directors meetings recordings are now available online. Molinelli added that the agency's directors and staff have put in place improved tracking and reporting of capital projects, recently completed additional management training, and are beginning development of a formal water and wastewater facilities master plan. The AWA's full response is available on the agency website at amadorwater.org, or you can also visit the office and pick up a copy.
A San Andreas man landed in jail with a $50,000 bail following an incident Tuesday afternoon. According to Calaveras Sheriff Office, Tuesday afternoon, shortly before 1:30, deputies responded to Oak Park Drive in San Andreas. There, they found the 18-year-old victim sitting outside the home. He told deputies 29-year-old Dennis Fields of San Andreas, the suspect, had just left. A female passenger, who was later cited for battery, reportedly threw an iced coffee on the victim. Then Fields allegedly pulled a handgun, pointed it at the victim, and said, quote, "I'm going to shoot you in the face." Then he manipulated and racked the gun, then drove off at a high rate of speed. According to reports a few months ago, the victim and another family member reported Fields to authorities for an unknown alleged criminal matter. The victim also told deputies a few weeks ago Fields followed him to a gas station, pointed a gun at him at that time, but he did not report it. After yesterday's incident, he did report it because he felt it was escalating. Deputies conducted an investigation, determined there had been a crime of assault with a deadly weapon. Fields also faces charge of threatening a crime with intent to terrorize.
And the Amador Sheriff's Office is warning of a new scam making the rounds in the county. A sheriff's office recently received a report from a citizen advising that he was the victim of a scam. The subject said he received a phone call from 209-221-4896 that showed the caller ID as Martin Ryan. When he answered the phone, the person told him that he had a warrant and that he'd be arrested unless he paid $2,500. The citizen was told to purchase gift cards to make the payments. The Amador County Sheriff's Office does not collect money in lieu of you going to jail. If anyone receives a call asking for payment to be made in gift cards, why not go to the store, get them an Applebee's card or maybe a Lowe's card or something like that, because it's likely a scam. Now, there have been similar cases where suspects posed as PG&E employees or IRS agents, none of whom collect gift cards as payments. Now, remember, if you receive a call from an unknown person and they are requesting money or personal information, you may be the intended victim of a scam. If you're not sure, be safe and contact the sheriff's office. I told a little story during the 5 o'clock news, and I had a couple of folks ask if I'd tell it again, maybe during the 7 o'clock news. So here it is. We received a call here the other day at the station that we were such a good pay with our credit cards that they were going to lower our interest rates. But since we are a multi-$100 international company, big corporation, they would need to know just, the card that we use. So they asked us if we would please, punch in the number of our card, followed by the pound sign, and then for total security and verification, the 3-digit number on the back of the card. Of course, trying to save money. Of course we did that. No, that is just another example of a scam and how far they will go. I've talked to a couple of people that have had that. Art Rings yesterday was just telling me that he's also had a scam with his Social Security.
Mine too.
You too? They said there was
fraudulent.
A fraud.
Yes.
Did you get it yesterday too?
I got it about a month and a half ago, and I didn't, because sometimes they want you to say yes, or they want you to say things they have you recorded saying, I've heard, on scam calls, so I'm always real careful about what I say. And I just hung up, looked up the number, and it was not related to Social Security at all.
They wanted Art to give them his Social Security number so they could verify that that was the fraudulent number being used. So, folks, again, these are scams. Remember, Sheriff's Department's not going to call you, tell you they're coming to get you. IRS
the sheriff
will not
himself
call you
isn't calling you
and tell you. IRS again won't call you. PG&E's not going to call you, and and especially they're not going to ask you to pay with gift cards. But like I say, if you feel like you need to go to the store and buy a gift card for them, buy one from like Red
folks,
Lobster.
Just so we
tell
don't
them, say, hey, I can't pay you in a red and a blue dot or green dot, whatever it is, or a prepaid master. But I do have a couple of old Sears cards and a Lucas card here you can have.
And we're not saying these agencies won't contact you for any reason whatsoever, just they're not contacting you demanding payment. PG&E, you may get a call or a notification about public safety power shutoff if that goes into effect, things like that. Those aren't scams. But when these entities are calling you asking for money, Social Security numbers, that's a scam. Right?
Yep.
Right. Well, hey, a suspicious circumstance call in Ione brought law enforcement from throughout the county Tuesday. According to reports, just before 12:30, Ione PD was called out to a residence on Callaway Lane to determine if a resident was a victim of a possible crime. As officers approached the residence, they heard the sound of a possible gunshot coming from the residence. Officers from the Jackson and Sutter Creek Police Departments, as well as deputies from Amador Sheriff Department, responded to the scene, and a perimeter was established. The resident inside the home was eventually contacted and was determined no one had been injured. No arrests have been made. The investigation is continuing.
And the Amador Arts Open Mic Night, the popular free family-friendly community event, has returned tonight. The first one starts at 6 o'clock. Mark your calendars. Every Thursday following, there will be actually the first Thursday of every month is when it will be. So mark your calendar, first Thursday of the month. And again, it starts at 6 o'clock, run till about 8-ish at the Arts Center in the Motherlode Plaza here in Jackson. Dennis McHugh of Pioneer, his wife, Kat Everett, Amador County Poet Laureate, are helping out with this. And again, you can check out the art show on the walls, both September and October. Heart of Hope. We were talking with some folks yesterday about this and about Suicide Prevention Month. And again, if you have any questions, visit AmadorArts.org. Better yet, show up tonight for the first open mic of the season. And that's a look at local news on a Gold Country Thursday morning from the KVGC News Center.
I'm JD.
And I'm Jim Geedy reporting. Remember, for the latest news, traffic, and weather 24 hours a day, to visit our website. That's kvgcradio.com.